From a $4.8 million pure electric quad-motor speedster featuring patented dual adjustable aero screens instead of a traditional windshield to a $51 million Ferrari experimental prototype constructed on a reduced wheelbase for the 4-liter endurance racing class, we are counting down the top 10 Italian cars so expensive you'll never afford, because when standard supercars fail to command 7-figure valuations or dominate historic blue-chip auctions, elite automotive collectors deploy their capital toward these historic racing assets and bespoke coach-built masterpieces. Number 10. Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. The modern Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale revives a legendary 1967 aesthetic blueprint through a strict 33-unit production run. Buyers secured every available allocation upon announcement despite the staggering $1,850,000 base price. Alfa Romeo engineers equipped this bespoke machine with a mid-mounted 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 engine derived from the Maserati Nettuno. This powertrain channels between 621 and 630 horsepower through an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. The carbon composite architecture allows the vehicle to weigh just 1,500 kilograms. On the track, drivers can push this coach-built coupe to a terminal velocity of 207 miles per hour. Number 9. Pagani Utopia Roadster. And Horacio Pagani designed the Utopia Roadster as a purist rejection of heavy battery packs and dual-clutch transmission complexity. This $3,400,000 open-top hypercar features a rigid structural chassis formed from proprietary carbo-titanium HP62G2 and carbo-triax HP62. Thanks to this advanced monocoque, the Roadster requires zero structural reinforcements and maintains the exact 2,822-pound dry weight of the fixed-roof coupe. A mid-mounted 6.0-liter Mercedes-AMG twin-turbocharged V12 engine sends 852 horsepower to the rear wheels. Buyers can configure the transmission with either a 7-speed automated manual or a gated pure manual gearbox complete with a third pedal. Pagani capped global production at a strict 130 units to guarantee perpetual rarity. Number 8. Ferrari F80. The $3,900,000 Ferrari F80 serves as the direct successor to the LaFerrari in Maranello's flagship hypercar lineage. This model abandons the traditional naturally aspirated V12 for a mid-mounted 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 derived from the Le Mans winning 499P prototype. Ferrari paired this internal combustion engine with 3 electric motors to generate a combined 1,184 horsepower. 2 front-mounted electric motors provide torque vectoring all-wheel drive, while a rear motor harvests energy. Active aerodynamics generate 1,050 kilograms of downforce to keep the 3,362-pound chassis planted at speed. Limited to 799 examples globally, this hybrid missile accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.15 seconds. Number 7. Pininfarina B95 Barchetta. Automobili. Pininfarina created the $4,800,000 B95 Barchetta to synthesize classic coach-built proportions with brutal electric performance. Designers eliminated the traditional windshield, side windows, and door frames from the lightweight carbon fiber monocoque. The cabin instead relies on a patented dual adjustable aero screen system inspired by vintage fighter aircraft to direct airflow over the occupants. 4 liquid-cooled permanent magnet synchronous electric motors drive each wheel independently to produce 1,877 brake horsepower. A T-shaped 120 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack accepts 270 kilowatt DC fast charging to replenish capacity in 25 minutes. The factory restricted the production run to 10 custom-tailored units to maximize collector value. Number 6. Pagani Huayra Rotalonga. The $7,600,000 Pagani Huayra Rotalonga exists as a rolling sculpture honoring the clean aerodynamic profiles of 1960s Le Mans racers. Engineers at the Grandi Complicazioni division integrated an active aerodynamic profile featuring dynamic rear downforce flaps. The structural core integrates carbo-triax HP62 and carbo-titanium weaves to achieve a dry weight of 2,822 pounds. Mercedes-AMG supplies a bespoke 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine that develops 829 horsepower. The powertrain sends 811 pound-feet of torque through a transversal 7-speed automated manual transmission. Pagani restricted the original coupe variant to just 5 units worldwide before announcing a 10-unit speedster continuation. Number 5, 1962 Ferrari 250 GTS-WB California Spiders. Chassis 2955 GT established a $19,520,000 public auction record for the road-going California Spider at RM Sotheby's Monaco in April 2026. The factory constructed this specific car on a shortened 2,400mm steel tubular chassis equipped with four-wheel disc brakes, a 3.0-liter SOHC Colombo Tipo 16861 V12 engine uses revised cylinder heads and 3 Weber carburetors to produce 280 horsepower. This Ferrari stands as one of only 39 short wheelbase units originally configured with covered headlamps. German importer Otto Becker used this exact chassis as their premier display vehicle during the 1962 Frankfurt International Motor Show. Ferrari Classiche certified the matching numbers powertrain and coachwork before its showcase at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. Number 4, 1957 Ferrari 335 Sport Scaglietti. The 335 Sport served as the final evolution of Ferrari's front-engine sports racers designed to battle the 4.5-liter Maserati 450S. This $35,730,510 machine features a quad-cam, dry-sump 4.0-liter Tipo 141 Jano V12 engine fed by 6 twin-choke Weber carburetors. The massive powertrain delivers nearly 400 horsepower to push the aerodynamic Scaglietti bodywork to 186 miles per hour. Legendary driver Mike Hawthorne used this car to set the first Le Mans lap record over 200 kilometers per hour. Sterling Moss also piloted Chassis 0674 to an outright victory at the 1958 Cuban Grand Prix. Pierre Bardinon preserved the original matching numbers mechanical components in his private Mas Duclos collection for over 4 decades. Number 3, 1964 Ferrari 250 LM by Scaglietti. Selling for $36,344,960 in Paris, Chassis 5893 represents a critical architectural transition that moved the Ferrari V12 engine behind the driver cockpit. Homologation failures forced the 250 LM to compete in the prototype racing class with an upgraded 3.3-liter Typo 211 engine. This mid-mounted power plant routes 320 horsepower through a 5-speed manual transaxle and inboard disc brakes. Luigi Cinetti's North American racing team used this exact chassis to secure the overall victory at the 1965 24 Hours of Le Mans. That historic triumph by drivers Maston Gregory and Jochen Rindt stood as Ferrari's final outright Le Mans win until 2023. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum preserved this matching numbers race car for 54 years before the 2025 auction. Number 2, 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO Bianco Speciale. This Bianco Speciale 250 GTO shattered the Mecum Auctions record books in January 2026 with a $38,500,000 final sale price. Scaglietti formed the lightweight aluminum coachwork for this chassis, distinguishing it as the only unit from the 36-car production run painted white at the factory. An all-alloy 3.0-liter SOHC Colombo V12 engine utilizes dry sump lubrication to spin out 300 horsepower at 7,500 revolutions per minute. Prominent British team owner John Coombs ordered the vehicle to demonstrate track superiority over the Jaguar Racing E-Type. Graham Hill and Jack Sears drove the car to multiple podiums, including second overall at the Goodwood RAC Tourist Trophy. Collectors prize this specific asset because it was never restored, retaining its pure racing era patina and mechanical modifications. Number 1, 1962 Ferrari 330 LM/250 GTO. Chassis 3765 LM commands a $51,705,000 valuation as the most expensive Italian manufactured car ever sold at public auction. Scuderia Ferrari campaigned this unique machine as their only factory-owned GTO Tipo 1962. Engineers constructed it on a reduced wheelbase chassis as an experimental entry for the newly established 4-liter endurance racing class. The factory originally fitted a 400 Super America-style 4.0-liter V12 engine to secure a class victory at the 1962 Nürburgring 1000 km. Before selling the car to privateer Pietro Ferraro in 1963, Ferrari converted the chassis back to standard 250 GTO specifications. Mechanics installed a 3.0-liter development engine from the 250p prototype program, which remains inside the matching numbers bay today. These historic race cars and modern coach-built hypercars prove that the Italian automotive industry produces the ultimate blue-chip assets. Elite investors require documented heritage and mechanical purity to justify allocating tens of millions of dollars toward a single vehicle. If you want to see more breakdowns of global alternative assets and performance vehicles, click on our previous videos right now.